Hello, gorgeous Leo family, Leo Pride, and welcome to September 2020. I hope you all had a beautiful Leo season, and here we are now in Virgo and Libra season in September, and a really powerful time of year, a really pivotal moment, I think, in many ways. I think about this month. This is one of my favorite months because it's got an equinox in it, and I think about our arc from March when we had our last equinox to now, and how much we have grown and changed, shifted, understood new things, done deep work. This is a really powerful equinox for that reason. This is also a powerful month because it's setting us up for this last part of the year. It's setting us up to start being visionary when it comes to what is next. That's really important here. This is a message that comes up again and again for September, is that this is an important month to start opening up to the visionary field. You know, there's been a lot of focus on what we're losing and what has been lost, and that's important to take time to do that. And there is always this point at which it's like, okay, but what will life look like if we just go for that different way? And September is really inviting that in for a few reasons. One, we have this equinox, which is always a great time to balance and incorporate. We also have Mars retrograde beginning in our fellow fire sign of Aries. There's no reason to fear Mars retrograde. In many ways, I feel like it's kind of a breath of fresh air. Mars, when it's direct all the time, right? It's like, go, make things happen, be in willpower mode, be in force mode. When he's going retrograde, this helps us to incorporate and understand things. And for Leos, you know, this is going to have everything to do with the way we envision the world, right? The way we philosophize about our own existence at this time. And it's a really great way to find new footing in life, to get acquainted with who you are now. A lot of Leos are going to be noticing that you think you kind of knew who you were. You figured out who you were over the last couple of years, and now that shell of who you were is not fitting you quite correctly anymore. And September is going to have a huge thing to do with that. It's going to have a lot to do with that. And actually there was a word that came to mind very clearly for me with Leos. It was the word weave. Life weaving. You know, there's a lot of old traditions in humanity have stories of weaving as a really important theme when we think about existence and fate and what we're doing in this life, the weaving of the threads of this life. And September, for some reason, just heralds in this really deep weaving feeling. You're weaving fabric, and some of that fabric, you know, you're not going to utilize, put on your body, step on, experience until next year. But you're going to be weaving and working with it during September. You know, the moon cycle this month is really powerful for you as well. We have a full moon in Pisces in your 8th house of transformation, so right away. And then we have a new moon in Virgo, which is all about nurturing, loving yourself, feeling that deep worthiness. And in fact, all of Virgo season is going to be asking you to feel that deep worthiness. And there's also Jupiter and Saturn going direct after a few months of retrograde action. And as they go direct, we're finishing up years of work in Capricorn with these signs, with these energies. I mean, Jupiter's been here most of this last year. He hangs out in a sign for about 13 months, but Saturn's been there a while, almost 3 years. And we are finishing up some big stuff. So this is just a powerful month. This is a powerful month to devote. Oh, 2 cards wanted to come out. 3 of Pentacles and the Lovers. Hello. Okay. I like this a lot. Shared vision is really strong there. Right out of the gate, I'm noticing. Shared vision, huge theme there. Love it. Page of Wands. Yes. Oh, I love this for Leo. But this whole idea of weaving life, of being involved in the devotional practice of weaving your life. And like I said, there's just this sense that Leos are high priestess. Whoa. Okay, I'm loving this energy for Leos this month. This is amazing. This is so amazing. There's something really, and Queen of Swords. Okay. There's something really big going on here. It's deep. I think the threads, speaking of weaving, the threads run deep here. the themes run deep here. This is not a superficial month. Like the growth and the understanding aren't coming from superficial exterior sources, which, I mean, sometimes they do. Sometimes we have months where it's all about the fun and the external and going to the party and making the connection and going on the date and getting the promotion, right? There are a lot of months. There are a lot of times in life where that happens. And sometimes the up-leveling is just so obvious and clear on our internal journey, and the clouds part, and there's an understanding of something deeper going on. And that's what I'm seeing for Leos here in September with this whole concept of weaving and building and creating and connecting. And when we start off with the Lovers, like that card wanted to come out of this deck. I love this for Leos. You know, the thing with September that keeps coming up is this idea of devotion and integrity. Right? Really having integrity when it comes to what you truly want to say yes to and what you truly want to connect to. And the Lovers to me is that kind of connection that's really authentic, right? It's the kind of connection that we have with friendships, partnerships, work relationships, projects that it's not forced. We're not saying, oh, I should want to want this. But this is something that it just really comes up and out of you. It's easy. Right? The Lovers speaks to the ease, the flow of connection with others. You know, the Lovers is also telling me this is not a time to feel you have to do things on your own. This is not a time where you have to feel that your okayness is purely built on your resolve to do things alone. In fact, you know, the next card speaks to that as well. These are cards of communion. These are cards of deep connection. These are cards of even commitment, I would say, is a word. And there are different aspects of commitment, right? There's commitment in those really deep partnerships. There's commitment in shared vision, shared architecture of life. And in fact, when that word weave came up, I think these two cards speak to that perfectly. You know, Lovers is all about the energetic weaving, the story weaving, the storytelling. What story are we telling? What are we weaving together? And the Three of Pentacles is all about how we weave in the real world, how we weave with what we show up to and what we create. Now, these are really supportive energies. These are extremely creative, really on your side. There are some things that are for you that I think you're going to know exactly what those are. And one thing I want to just say with this, it's coming through to me right now, this message. We ask for signs a lot in life. I think humans in general, we want our signs. We want our confirmations that we're doing things right. This Lovers, Three of Pentacles is telling me there are things you know that you're meant for. And yeah, maybe the road is not totally figured out. Maybe you don't know what February, March you're going to have everything all lined up. You don't know all the details yet, but you know this is the thing that is right for you. It's going to be tempting to keep asking for signs. And you will get signs. You'll get signs because things are working, because things are moving forward, because the road keeps opening up, right? But there's a point at which you just have to choose that you know this is right for you and not to torture yourself mentally about it anymore and to just relax into it a little bit more. And that's just a message that's coming through here. You know, you may feel like you don't have enough signs that it's okay and that you want more and more and more. When will it ever be enough? So just keep that in mind, you know. So let's talk through this because you have all this positive energy and then you have Page of Wands. I love Page of Wands. This is one of my favorite energies. You know why? This is the guy who's a beginner. I almost feel like he's a cousin to the Fool. Like the Fool and the Page of Wands could they could get along. They would definitely be able to have a good conversation. If these two characters cross paths, they would get each other. Because the Page of Wands is the newbie on the job, right? He is totally new at life. You know, he's like first day of second grade, first day on the job, first day in a new situation. So ready to learn, right? So curious, so excited to get into this new role, into this new identity and learn. And Leos, as you kind of come into understanding, oh, I have changed shape. Oh, I am wanting to commune and connect on these different levels. I'm learning so much about who I'm really becoming. As that happens, the the sense of being new at everything, it could be strong. You're kind of getting surprised right and left. Now, Page of Wands is great too, though, because it's about breakthrough. It's about new energy coming in, right? Surging forward, giving you new lenses, new opportunities, new yeses, new pathways opening up. This is not a stagnant time. And like I said, it's so interesting because I think a lot of people get superstitious about Mars retrograde, that it will be a stagnant time, the last part of 2020, that will be stalled on getting things done. I don't think that's the case. Mars retrograde is just a very spiritual transit, which we will get much more into during September, especially over on Patreon, and just the next few months we're going to be going there. But it's not a stagnant time. This is a time of huge growth. And for Leos, that is for sure happening here. I'm seeing this, and what I see is huge growth. I'm seeing huge learning curves right and left, which is great. Just remember to take care of yourself. And that's where the wisdom of these two beautiful ladies comes in, the High Priestess and Queen of Swords. The first three cards herald in, like I said, huge growth, opportunities, connection, devotion, saying yes to things, understanding who you're becoming more, realizing you have changed shape and you're transforming, realizing that the way you think of yourself is shifting and you're growing into it. That's great. And then these two come in, and they're a reminder that you don't have to pick everything up. Now, the High Priestess is going to be your intuitive guidance, right? This is the knowing. This is the knowing that I was mentioning a little bit ago, that deep knowing. You may not have the 1,000 steps charted for the next year, right? Maybe even if you want to have them charted, you don't have them charted, and you're not supposed to. The High Priestess comes back to that wisdom of, what does it feel like? Does this feel right for you? Yes, it does. This is a deeply spiritual card. This is a deeply spiritual month for you. The full moon in Pisces, the new moon in Virgo, both really important for Leos. Pay attention to those moons this month. They're big for the healing. And the High Priestess is speaking to that. There's a deep healing thread going on for Leos as well that has to do with trusting yourself on this next journey. Giving yourself the permission to go there. Giving yourself the permission to heal and move forward. Giving yourself the permission to maybe want things different than what you wanted when it was March 21st. Right? The Queen of Swords heralds something as well. She works often with setting healthy boundaries and telling the truth. Big truth teller here. She likes to have things out on the table so that we're not guessing, right? We're not stepping around guessing. What do? I don't know. She's honest. She's truthful. And I think, when we grow and we change, this is actually a really beautiful point in the process when we get that Queen of Swords activation, because it's kind of that thing of, oh yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. Or yes, I do really want to do this. There's an honesty that comes through. I think by the time we hit into Libra season, we hit into the equinox, we're moving into your third house. Queen of Swords does not have a problem using this vessel right here, the voice. And Libra season is definitely a time for figuring out how to tell a story, how to express, how to relate. And the Queen of Swords is helping to let you tell your story in these new ways. Let you be creative in telling your story in these new ways. So the High Priestess is the more mysterious, healing, deep, hidden part. And the Queen of Swords is the more external, expressive part. All 5 of these cards, Leo, speak to building, speak to creating, speak to growth, speak to getting to know who you are now. And it's a big month. And that weaving of the tapestry of your life, you're going to be feeling like it's almost surreal sometimes when this is happening. Because you can literally be looking around and realize you're constructing everything. And, we're often raised to kind of think about ourselves as not the master weavers, right? We're not taught about being in a master weaver position. And when it's happening in your life, it can feel a little bit like, I don't even know how to feel this. I almost feel numb to the experience of weaving this life. So, just take your time with that. Be kind and gentle with yourself on that process. And, it's okay to not know everything this month. That's okay too. Now, I have an invocation for Mars retrograde, for the equinox, for this powerful time of transmutation and healing and devotion and connectedness that I've written up for you all, that I will read now to usher in this beautiful September. May I allow a deeper interconnectedness into my life. May synchronicities surround me and remind me of my path. May I find the path of devotion and nourishment with each step. May my self-value grow and blossom in the coming season. May the healing go deep. I think this is going to be such a blessed month for you all. I really do. I think this is a month of deep nourishment, deep growth, deep healing, deep learning, and amazing weaving. And remember that, as we are adjusting to these transits and as we are adjusting to the seasonal shift, you are setting the foundation stones for some big things at the end of this year and the beginning of next year. So have fun with that. Remember to have some fun. Like I said, we're going to go a lot deeper on all of these themes over on my Patreon. So if you're looking for deeper support, I would love to see you over there. We have so much fun and we're going deep on Mars retrograde. I'm going to be creating all sorts of supportive tools over there to navigate this time and use it to its best ability. So I'd love to see you over there. I know many of you are already with me and I so appreciate seeing your beautiful faces over there. I will leave the link for that below, as well as the link for PinkLune's gorgeous jewelry. And you can find me on Instagram or on my website. Either of those places are great places to connect. I will see you all in October for more beautiful energy, and I love you so much.